On a cold, gray day in February, the Maryland Midland Railway started running 30 brand new cement hopper cars. Cars purchased to haul more than 5,000 tons of cement each month for one Maryland Midland customer. These cars not only demonstrate the Maryland Midland's dedication to customer service, but they also show how rapidly it is growing. At the Maryland Midland, we mean business. The Maryland Midland Railway moves freight throughout western Maryland and beyond. Its 67 miles of track run through 4 counties in Maryland and into Pennsylvania. It connects with CSX transportation and the National Railroad System to handle shipments to and from 48 of the United States as well as Canada. It's hard to believe that this thriving railroad began as what most transportation people would call a hobby. The Maryland Midland was started by 3 railroad enthusiasts. They moved fewer than 200 carloads of freight that year. That's fewer than 4 cars a week. In 1983, the original owners had a chance to add another piece of track to what they already had, one that would more than double their track mileage. They realized that if they did that, they had the basis of a viable business. They also realized that they needed help to run a railroad as a serious business, so they brought in people who had professional railroad expertise. Those people have built a railroad that carries more than 5,000 carloads of freight each year, one that serves more than 30 customers as a very profitable feeder line. The Maryland Midland Railway has provided dividend payments for 27 consecutive quarters. Lehigh Portland Cement is a major Maryland Midland customer. It was for Lehigh that the railway bought its 30 new hopper cars. This plant at Union Bridge is the crown jewel of the Lehigh Company. It is their largest and most profitable plant, producing both masonry cement and Portland cement. Lehigh uses the Maryland Midland to bring in coal from West Virginia and to ship its Portland cement to customers as far away as North Carolina. Rail is easily the most cost-effective transportation, the plant manager at Lehigh.
Oh yes, we're very happy with the service. The Maryland Midland's quite flexible to meet our various needs. We have an around-the-clock production operation here, and often we have unusual requirements of taking cars out or bringing cars in, and they've always been very willing to meet all of our needs.
The condition of the cars is very important to Lehigh. They don't want any of their product seeping out or any water leaking in. The cars used for Lehigh Portland cement are state-of-the-art, and so is the way they're switched and tracked. The Maryland Midland handles all kinds of cars with all kinds of cargoes, and it handles them all with a computerized tracking service. Butch Heck runs the EDI system for the Maryland Midland.
EDI is the electronic data interchange, and it's used between short line railroads and trunk lines to waybill car movements and to send advanced contests to let railroads know what the other is shipping.
The system gives the Maryland Midland the capability to trace cars for its customers.
We do have the ability to trace cars. We have the ability to find when a car was placed at a siding, when a car was released from the customer after it was unloaded.
Bill Schaefer works for Maryland Midland customers too, keeping shipping costs low and the response to customer problems quick.
Well, the aim of the Maryland Midland is to get the merchandise to the customer. We do this by 3 ways. First of all, we issue our own tariffs and participate in other foreign line tariffs. When it's a particularly competitive situation, we issue a special quote.
Bill Schaefer also makes sure that the Maryland Midland responds quickly. That's important to customers too. Building a siding for just one customer. That's what the Maryland Midland did for the Avondale Warehouse Corporation at Westminster. Avondale receives huge rolls of paper, which are best transported by rail because of their bulk and weight. The warehouse might meet its needs with trucking, but Al Lang, the warehouse manager, says rail is much easier to deal with.
By having receipt of one rail car, we have one shipment going out and one shipment being received, versus a truck you would have to have 4 shipments going out and 4 shipments received. The idea of even scheduling a time factor to receive this product and to unload it, that in itself takes up a lot of time and money, not only for the people that are shipping, but also for the people that are receiving the product.
It isn't enough just to build a siding or a main track. Tracks have to be maintained in order to give customers the best, most reliable service. This production tamper goes to every tie and pulls the track up and adjusts its support to smooth out the importance of this work.
Well, first it allows us to continue at the speed, which would be 25 on this line, and we don't have as many slow orders. We also can continue to run safely.
The locomotive power that runs on these Maryland Midland tracks has to meet high standards too.
A little bit of flash up here. I have to clean this commutator out.
Mike Hambright and his crew have overhauled 4 out of Maryland Midland's 5 locomotives, inside and out, to be the best they can be. They know that reliability is of prime importance.
And of course the key to reliability is proper maintenance, and we try our best to maintain these units in every way possible. It's not always easy though. Demands are quite high on these units.
Maryland Midland locomotives pull at least 2 eastbound and 2 westbound trains a day, Monday through Friday. They may pull a third on weekdays or maybe work on Saturdays and Sundays. Alan Novotny is the manager of transportation. He says the schedules depend on what the customers need.
We most definitely adjust to fit the customer's needs. When are needed certain hours of the evening, we will most definitely fit their schedule. We try to deliver the cars so that they will have them the next day for unloading rather than getting them to them during the middle of the day.
One of those customers is the Congolium plant in Finksburg. Workers at this plant make the underlayment for floor covering, taking in tank cars of latex, hopper cars of talc, and box cars of wood pulp to do it. Joe Fowler is the manager of this plant.
We chose Maryland Midland because, first of all, they're quite competitive. Their service is excellent and their equipment is very sound. In addition to that, they're very nice people with whom to work. Their staff stays in constant contact with us, and it's not unusual for Paul Denton, the president, to give me a call and say, hey, how we're doing? And I can tell you, they're doing quite well.
That's the kind of talk Paul Denton likes to hear, because if his customers are happy, he's running the railroad right.
We believe that transportation distribution for our customers is a full-time business, and we concentrate on it full-time. We think that this is not brain surgery. It's a very basic business of taking care of your customer. We have a 3-part package of competitive price, the equipment, which is the railroad cars, and timely, consistent service. Editors, we will get to business. At Maryland Midland, we mean business.
It takes good people to run a good railroad, and the Maryland Midland has good people, operating the trains, tracing the shipments, maintaining the locomotives and the tracks, and all of them taking care of Maryland Midland customers. Maryland Midland customers know their goods and materials will be shipped at the lowest cost and arrive in the best condition. And they know that's good business for them. It can be good for you, too. At the Maryland Midland, we mean business.